As far as the agenda for today, we came up with that, obviously taking sort of feedback from last year's event, but also taking into account all the many changes that are going on sort of in the sector at the moment. As you all know, there are so many. It is vital to build sustainable organisations and that you must future-proof your provision. So that's how we came up with the concept of today. So now I am absolutely thrilled to introduce our final speaker of the day. Writer, speaker, campaigner, activist, author, most importantly, expert at putting Piers Morgan in his place. I'd like to introduce Natasha Devon.
If you look at other languages, you will get very jealous. Well, I did, certainly. My favourite by far was German. They've got words for things that I didn't even know any other human being had that thought. And they've got a word for it, like Schadenfreude. To take pleasure from someone else's misfortune. What a brilliant word that is. They also have 15 different words to describe 15 distinct types of anger, which makes much more sense. So if you think about it, what manifests as anger comes from any number of different root causes. And in English, we've got irritation, annoyance, anger, rage, incandescence, but you're just turning the dial up on the same basic feeling. In German, they've got all these different words to choose from. My favorite thing I found, there's a Russian slang term, it's "nena lublю," and it means, I love you, but I hate you in this moment. Now just think about how much easier your life would have been if you could whip out a word like that during an argument. But we can't, because we're English speakers. And what that means is, people, when they're having discussions about mental health, they are having them at cross purposes, because people mean different things using the same word. You hear people misuse clinical terms. They say things like, I'm a little bit OCD, and what they mean is, I like things tidy. It's not what OCD is. Or, I just had a total panic attack, and what they mean is, I thought I lost my keys and then I found them. Or, my football team lost last night, I'm so depressed. And when you've experienced the clinical versions of those, it's very annoying when people do that. But my sense is that they're not trying to diminish mental illness. What's happening is the word for how they feel doesn't exist. So they will grasp for the nearest thing.
Learners don't look for, how do I get on an access course? It's how do I become a nurse? How do I become an engineer? So marketing access is around marketing the vocational outcomes, and that will then lead to the qualification that's suitable for them. But let's face it, in terms of qualification availability now for adults, there isn't a huge scope of qualifications available. And we're not saying access is the only one, it isn't. There are also many other suitable adult qualifications that will lead to higher education. The difference being, you can design access to meet your need.